Hey Trey, welcome to the Modern Marketing Podcast. Super excited to have you joining me here, man.
Dude, I'm just excited that you're excited.
I am definitely excited. I mean, we were chatting a bit before. We've got some pretty exciting topics we're going to be talking about. Going to dive into some modern marketing tactics and techniques and really help the listeners grow their businesses and all of the stuff that comes with it. So gave a little bit of your bio before we hit record here, but maybe you can fill them in on your words, kind of what you do, what brought you here, a little bit of your backstory.
So, man. So I've been doing this for just 5 years, actually. So, I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot of time, and it isn't a lot of time. But I got to tell you, we've been through so many ups and downs in those 5 years, and we've learned so much of what we do. So a premise, just to kind of give some credibility, we've grown our email database. Our email database is at 1.1 million people. So to give you a reference of frame of mind for that, if you have a baseball stadium here in St. Louis, we got the Cards, go Cards, red team.
Go Cards.
And so basically that stadium fits 60,000 people.
Yeah.
So if you would fill that entire stadium of people 20 times with all unique people, we have the ability to press a button to send a message to all that people.
Cool.
So that's about a 1.1 million database reach, which feels like that. We have 400,000 buyer customers in our database. We have 300,000 Facebook fans. So we've definitely built a really nice database, which is a nice pillar for our business. And we've done that through a lot of loss leaders, a lot of free plus shipping items, such as, hey, you know what, we'll send you an item for free. All we ask is you help for the shipping or with the handling, and that'll be nice. So we've grown the database through that. And we have continuity offers that we enroll people into. Or actually, let me say that again. They actually self-enroll into that. We don't do any forced continuity or any hidden continuity or anything like that. So it's all there on them. And man, I tell you what, over the last 5 years, we've gone from just learning how to be online to being fully 100% committed. You know, and I was on another interview this morning. That it kind of looks like you, fit and buff and like ready to rock and roll. And
too kind,
dude. I go to the gym, man, and here's the deal: is I get up at 5 a.m. I got to work out at 6 a.m. with a coach, and dude, I'll look around the gym and I see people who are fit, who are just buff as all get out, and the reason is because they're more committed than I am. They are more committed than I am. And I'm like, wow, why has that guy got abs and I don't have abs? He's more committed.
Right.
He's more committed on showing up. He's more committed on the diet. He's more committed on just being fit. And I relate that back to my business because when people look at us, they're like, man, why are you so amazing at what you do? And I was like, dude, I am committed. We show up to blow up. We are here to make things happen, and we are all in. And we've grown a team around that to make that possible, which is huge.
Cool. Oh, the 5 a.m. wake up. You're ringing true. Yeah. No, that's it. I'm a 5 a.m. wake up, 6 a.m. gym kind of guy. So that's
there you go.
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm looking at you. I'm like, that guy's committed. I need to be. How do I get committed?
Right. Well, you're already doing it. 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. You got the times. So tell me then, what happens after 6 a.m.? What is the main core of the business now? What's it grown to? And then let's talk about kind of what got you here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So man, what's it grown to? Goodness sakes. Dude, we've grown, we've shrunk, a lot. So to give you some background, a year ago, 2 years ago, we were shipping a crap ton of physical products, 10,000 to 15,000 units a month, just going out our facilities. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, I was building a shipping warehouse.
Yeah.
So what I'm really good at is making really good offers, no-brainer offers, people who are just like, I'm taking that up. Yeah, here's my credit card. Love that. And that's what I'm really good at. But with that comes a lot of back-end stuff, such as, hey, now we got products to ship out. Now we got labels to print out. And I started creating a shipping warehouse where I hired 25 people. I needed more to get that out. Mm-hmm. Then guess what? You have customer service calls. People calling in, hey, where's my order? Where's my tracking link? Why haven't I received it? It said I was supposed to get it yesterday.
Yeah.
So you have customers. So then I started building a call center. So I lost focus, what I was focused on, which was building a funnel and building really good offers.
Yeah.
And I turned that focus to building a shipping warehouse, building a call center. I built a shipping warehouse, a 7,000 square foot shipping warehouse with 25 people shipping out, 10,000, 15,000, 1,000 orders a day is really what we were doing, 20-day work week. Mm-hmm. Where call center was, I think at our max, we had 40 people in the call center doing outbound and inbound phone calls. Mm-hmm. And man, I'm not good. I did not do well at building a shipping warehouse. I did not do well at building a call center. And I found out real quickly what I'm really damn good at and what I really am bad at.
Right.
And we took steps back and we said, what do we do? What model do we want to start looking after? And I actually looked at, I heard of a guy named AJ who runs telebrands, as seen on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
So every time you're watching that commercial, it's like as seen on TV, and and that guy, he's running an amazing multi-million-dollar business company, running all those products online, does the same type of stuff, but he runs it with about a team of 7 to 10 people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? How is that possible? Because he outsources his call center. With TV, you have spikes.
Yeah.
But then what we found was when our sales would dip, our sales team is just kind of whittling their thumbs like, hey, when's the next lead coming in? Mm-hmm. And so our marketing team was basically solely focused on how do we make the phone ring for these guys.
Right.
Same thing with shipping. When our sales dipped, shipping, you can only sweep up so much dust.
That's it, yeah. And so what kind of products were you shipping? Like, what was the main core behind the business?
Oh, so our niche, which is still the same today, is basically what we're looking at is going from, gun stuff. We ship out oil. We ship out targets. We ship out whistles, survival cups, flints, stuff like that. That's really like tangible items that they get their hands on, which is really fun. But yet, if they're okay spending $3, $4, $5 on shipping. Yeah. And as you can see, that'll fly off the shelf really fast, which is like 10,000 orders at a time. And so when we're doing that, comes, like I said, comes a lot of different things. And that's what you got to look for. That's what you have to make sure you understand. And a good way to be able to scale up or to know how to scale up, a lot of people talk about, different problems at different steps in the business. Whereas, your first 100 orders, those are some sweet orders. You can go over and you can get something, right? Yeah. Like I'll put it in the bag today, Mom. Like I got this. I'll put a little stuff in there, get it, and it feels good, right? Because you got a mailbox out there that's got lots of packages on it. But here's the rule. Here's the tool that I've come up with to help you kind of foresee the future and be ready for it. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Hurricane Irma. Like, that thing's been going on. Yeah. Whereas, dude, Florida had 2 weeks notice of Hurricane Irma coming in, right? But if, like in Missouri, we get tornadoes, you got about 10 minutes. Right. So it's like, get the hell in the basement. Versus Florida is like, I can't, we'll get some plane tickets, we'll get a hotel all set, we'll meet some friends up there. Like, it's very, there's a lot more time that you have. And the same thing with business is, I'll give you a great example. Well, first off, the rule is times everything by 1,000. Right. So what I do is I look at if can this be multiplied by 1,000? A great example I'll give you, Adam, is sticky notes. I had a customer service rep. She, for my own company, and she'd be like, Trey got a phone call today, and he needs to call Sam back at 5:00. Hey Trey, here's a phone call. Oh, thanks, girl. And so I'd take that. But if I would multiply that task, that SOP, by 1,000, man, I'd have 1,000 sticky notes on my desk. Yeah. I would lose some sticky notes, like people would fall through the cracks. So how I look at it, no matter what you're doing, your Facebook ads, you're selling of products, your shipping, your call volume, whatever that is, multiply that by 1,000, and will the current systems that are in place work at that magnitude?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something that we see all the time, essentially, when people almost accidentally fall into business or accidentally fall into entrepreneurship. And you start to put things together and you get to six figures, maybe multiple six figures. But by the time you're hitting seven figures, things are coming off the rails and yeah, nothing's working and pieces are falling. And yeah, you're covered in 1,000 sticky notes.
You got sticky notes, man. Nobody wants sticky notes. So that's a good rule of thumb that I like to kind of apply to people is, how can you do that? Another one is, corporate worlds, like I look at our team, we have a team of about 10 to 15 people in-house. Out-house, it's like, obviously bigger.
Yeah.
And I look at these guys and I always tell them, one, we're a startup and we'll always be a startup. Mm-hmm. Because once you lose that feeling of startup, I think you start slacking and you get lazy.
Right.
I don't like that. Second is I tell them we're a speedboat. We're not an aircraft carrier. Because as a corporate organization is like an aircraft carrier. It's so large that it takes 5 miles to complete a turn, a 180 degree turn. Mm-hmm. But if you're a speedboat, you can make you make turns really quickly on a dime, right? Like, we need to go this way. Turn the wrong way. We need to go this way. So when I'm looking at companies and we're looking at ourselves, we always want to interact and act as a speedboat versus an aircraft carrier, having a meeting to have a meeting to have a meeting, mm-hmm. versus let's make a decision on what's our goal and what's our future pace.
Yeah, I think.
And what do we need to change?
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful for so many reasons, right? One is you play to your competitive advantage. The second is, it enables you to sort of go with the market. I think you hit on the nail on the head there, though, is that by knowing your goal, by knowing where you're trying to get, that's kind of what sort of dictates if the decision's easy or not. So how did you kind of come up with sort of the vision and the goal? Where's the business going? That type of thing. Because that can be a challenge. There's too many options available.
Man, that's a great question. I have a little system that I use. And hopefully you love it because it's changed my life.
Cool.
And I learned it down in Palm Springs, Florida. It's called the MTO. I wish I created it. I did not.
Yeah.
So M as in Michael, T as in Tom, O as in Oscar.
Yeah.
For some military alphanumeric lettering.
There we go.
So with that, I was down in Palm Springs, Florida, with a good mastermind. I was there at a private event, and I'm sitting down, and we have to do this MTO, which is basically minimum goal, target goal, and outrageous goal. And these guys are laying down some heavy numbers 5 years ago, like. Yeah, I want to do, I'm hoping that we do $1 million, this month. I hope we do, 2.7 million. I'm like, dang, like I'm just awestruck, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm an insurance guy making $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
Trying to get this online thing running. And I don't know why they made me go last, but they sure as heck did. And so I'm sitting there and they come to me and they're like, all right, what's your goal? And what's your minimum? So your minimum goal is no matter what, no matter if your Facebook ad account gets shut down, no matter if your email ISP goes bad, no matter if everybody in your office quits that day and says boycott, Trey Lewellen or whatever, we're going to make minimum. And I said, my minimum's 5K, like that's what I'm going to make. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, so now you got your minimum set. What's your target? What's your T? Whoa. So I said, I said 15 grand. Mm-hmm. I said, you know what? I think it'd be really cool to make 15 grand because as an insurance agent, I make 6 grand. Mm-hmm. So it'd be really cool to kind of, up that a little bit because then I can kind of quit insurance and feel good about it.
Yeah.
So I was making 6 grand. I was making 5 grand with the T-shirts that I was selling. So that put me at 10. So it's kind of hard if you quit insurance, like, oh, well, I'm going to lose some money there.
Yeah.
So my target was 15. And then, my outrageous. So like, well, what would you want as your outrageous? And this is just something like, think of outrageous as so far out there that it like the moon turned blue, pigs can fly, just out of your world. Your mind would explode if this outrageous goal actually came true. And I said, it'd be really cool if we did $60,000 in 1 month. And they asked me, well, why 60,000? Because usually people are like $1 million.
Yeah.
And I said $60,000 because that's what I make as an insurance agent.
Yeah.
And if I can make 60 grand in 1 month, that usually takes me a year, I would have 11 months of vacation.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I that would blow my mind. Like, that would put me in outer space looking down at the world, being like, I don't know how this just happened, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, 3 months later, I went back to St. Louis, and that was like in December. So February we hit, I think, $7,000 or $10,000 in sales and shirt sales. March we hit $15,000. In April we hit $117,000 in sales.
Yeah.
In these shirts. We were selling shirts to our gun peeps.
Yeah.
And dude, it still amazes me today that what I didn't even think was possible 4 months prior happened twofold of what my biggest imagination could even fathom.
Yeah.
I almost made $120,000, which is 2 times $60,000.
Yeah.
That means I would have had to work 23 months as an insurance agent to make what I did in 1 month as a shirt seller.
So what do you think was the magical combination behind that? What was it? Obviously the mastermind group plays a role, because when you're around people like that, expands your mind. Like we don't even have time to discuss how powerful that is. But what do you think were the factors that allowed you to do that?
Oh man, there's a couple. The one thing was, sitting down with those kind of people, those thought leaders, those people that are on that other side of the sphere that I wasn't on yet.
Yeah. And
I didn't even know how these guys were like. I'm like, what? How are you going to make $300,000? Like, how's it even possible?
Yeah.
How's it happen? Like, I'm over here like working my tail off to make $6,000, and you look like you're sipping macchiatos and laying on the beach every other Sunday from the Facebook post, and yet you're bringing in $300K. Like, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So it was getting into that mindset. One being committed. 2, you can be committed, which they say on the gym. Like, if you go to the gym, I don't know what gym you go to, but on my door it says, well, 90% of the hard work is done. You arrived.
Right.
Because I'm committed.
Yeah.
But the 10% is you got to implement it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't go inside and work out, you just play on your phone, you're not getting any results.
Yeah.
At the gym nor at the business. So implementation is crucial. And it's continuous implementation. I see a lot of people right now, like they'll see something come across their newsfeed, and they'll be like, oh, hey, what's up? We got this really cool thing. It's called We Sell on Amazon. You should come over here and learn how to sell it. They're like, oh, okay, let me go sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then while they're over here trying to sell on Amazon, someone else comes like, hey, man, I just made $1 million on my Shopify store. I'm going to show you how to do it for $47.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot better than this Amazon thing. Let me go here.
Yeah.
Then they see another shiny object.
Yeah.
Dude, they're chasing a rabbit hole, and they need to stop. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, concentrate on one thing. I got it's all about focusing, and I make wristbands. I got wristbands for our Commerce Kings guys, who's our mastermind, our Commerce Kings mastermind.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones I love to talk about. All these have like sayings and stories. They bring up stories is really what they're made to do. But the green one is just fly the plane. Mm-hmm. And man, I was gifted a gift that I will probably not stop preaching for a while. My brother gave me a gift to go fly a helicopter. Actually get up in the pilot and be flying this thing up in the air.
Yeah.
And for 30 minutes. Yeah. And so I got to do that. So I got to go out and do that. And before you get to go up in the air, you have to go through a 30-minute kind of like a consultation, or like a, hey, this is kind of how an airplane flies, guys. Like, give you the whole rundown of the thing. Yeah. And I remember we're sitting there in the classroom for the 30 minutes, and this guy's like, talking about how the plane flies and what happens if the engine goes out. Like, you're safe, the plane can land itself, and the helicopter will, auto gyro down. Yeah. And this lady raises her hand, and she's like, well, if it's a helicopter or an airplane, which one would you rather be in if it's going to go down? And he goes, the instructor goes, in pilot school, they teach you one main thing, and that is to just fly the plane. Yeah. He goes, when you're at 30,000 feet, you're going, into the sky, you're onto your destination, and all of a sudden there's a big boom in the back, which means there's a loss of cabin pressure. Yeah. Okay. Maybe a window blew out or something. A lot of things happen extremely quickly, Adam. Mm-hmm. The first is it becomes extremely cold. You're in negative degree temperature, so the environment in the airplane goes to frost.
Yeah, I used to be a pilot, and I actually had a rapid decompressurization at altitude before. So, yeah.
So you're gonna be able to verify if this story's true.
I'll tell you. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So obviously that happens.
Yeah.
Then no oxygen is at that level.
Yeah.
So the masks have to drop. So there's a lot of things going on. Also, chaos breaks out.
Yeah.
Right. People are going to start flipping shit.
Yeah.
They're going to go nuts. They're going to be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And so, by the way, the pilot has one mission, and that is to turn the plane into a 45-degree angle to get it down to 10,000 feet, so oxygen appears and temperatures raise to where people aren't going to freeze out. I think he has like a minute to do that.
Right.
So you're sitting there as a customer, and you're sitting there. Not only is there a decompression in the chamber, there's oxygen in mask, and then the plane goes into a 45-degree dive. Dude, you're dying.
Right.
Like you feel like you're going to die. And here's the thing: is there's 250 or whatever people behind you as a pilot. He's got one thing to remember, and that is to fly the plane.
Yeah.
Just fly the plane, because that allows everybody to be safe, that allows everybody to live, and everybody to go home to their family. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people as business owners, they get up from their pilot seat and they go and panic with the rest.
Yeah.
Versus just flying the plane, being someone who's committed, and being someone who can be stood up to.
Yeah.
You know, be a leader and be led.
Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing is, as a CEO, when someone's being hired by you, when someone's, an employee of yours, you need to come in well-dressed. You need to look efficient and effective and put together, because people are looking up to you, because there's going to be days that it's going to be a shitstorm.
Yeah.
It's going to freaking go crazy. Yeah. Right? And they're looking to you to be rescued. You're the pilot. And if you're in the back flipping out too, like, we're doomed.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody's going to start shooting everybody.
Oh, that's funny. Man, that's a great story. It's funny because throughout flight school, right, they always preach it. I remember I used to get my knuckles racked because we would have these, we'd go simulated problems, or the instructor would pull the throttle back or something like that. And I remember when I was first learning, yeah, exactly. It was like, wow, you don't know what's going on. And sure enough, he'd reach over and smack my knuckles with the ruler or the flight stick or whatever and say, hey, just fly the plane. So that's gold. I'm gonna have to remember that one, buddy. That's awesome.
That's so cool, right? But it's so true, man. And I made, that's why I made these wristbands. It says just fly the plane, Commerce Kings. And we gotta look at it. And there's days, like, I'm not gonna lie, dude, there's days I walk through the front door and it's chaotic, right? And we got to keep marching forward. Yeah, beautiful. So let's circle back to obviously we've got some good stuff going now. We've got a huge database, wicked email, a lot of subscribers, great buyers list. What did it take to get there? What were the tactics that you kind of first started deploying? And then where did things really start taking off? So what's missing in this world is good offers. Right. So I'll give you a great example. I was on the swim team in high school. Don't make fun of me. No. You probably should just leave that out of the show notes. That's it. We'll edit it. Don't edit. We'll edit that out. Yeah. You can keep it so the people have to listen. So I'm just glad people are committed to be listening to this point. Like that's amazing right there. That's it. We've still got a few hanging on there, so we're all good. It's amazing. So here's the deal. I was swim team. I learned front stroke, backstroke. In swim team, there's not very many dudes. So at competitions, I just kind of nonchalantly win first because there really was no competition. Right. So that was kind of nice, right? My parents, they'd come home, they're like, how'd you place? I was like, I got first. They're like, that's my boy. And I'm like, there's nobody. And so obviously I'm going to be awarded first. On the girls' side, though, that's a different story. It was like all girls. So there's going with the masses, and then there's becoming your own, right? A new vertical. And there's 4 strokes in the swim team that you can apply to be in, which is front stroke, backstroke. I forget the other one. And breaststroke, butterfly. There we go, and butterfly. Out of all of those, which one's the hardest? Butterfly. Butterfly. Yeah. Dude, that thing sucks. It's a brutal one. Everybody hates butterfly. But I'll tell you this. There was a girl named Bridget. And every day I went to swim meets, Bridget in practice, Bridget wasn't doing what all the other people were doing, which was like we'd swim like 3 to 4 miles a day. Mm-hmm. She was in her own lane doing butterflies just all day. She would just be doing butterflies back and forth, perfecting that butterfly. Yeah. Well, you and I both know butterfly freaking sucks. Yeah. But if you only practice butterfly and you're efficient and you're committed to maximizing your efforts to butterflying stroke, she placed first, man. Everywhere we went, she was first because no one liked butterfly. It was hard. It was tough. She didn't care. Mm-hmm. She wanted it. And she won butterfly because she took a different angle, a different vertical to make it happen. So how does that deal with how we became successful? Is we went away from all the masses. All the masses build and buy ads, mm-hmm. right? But they don't have offers. Right. They build an email list, or they know how to run Facebook traffic, or they know how to run Google traffic, but they don't know how to build a really good offer.
Right.
That's the butterfly stroke. Yeah. No one knows how to build a good offer. So I learned the butterfly stroke in the world of online products, the online of selling, and I became really, really good at it. To where we build a funnel a week. Yeah, we build a 1 to 2 funnels, and that's a good run. That's a really hard run rate. I don't expect anybody else to do that, mainly because I don't want you to catch me. Yeah. But the thing is I would say if you're building 1 a month or 2 a month, you're doing really good. Yeah, I mean we got people who build funnels. Yeah, so that's how we did it. We built efficient, damn good converting funnels to where when those people who know how to run traffic better than we do said, hey, we have this really good offer, you should run it. They said, absolutely. And then they said, hey, you know what? My traffic's done running this offer. What do you got now? Oh, we got another offer. Right. I'll take another one of those. And so now we're becoming really good friends, right, with these people. Or they're getting to know us at least. Mm-hmm. We already have a new offer coming down the wall. And so it's like this perfect match where it's the best advertising agencies and it's the best offer makers come together, and it's a beautiful ceremony. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact that you hit that, right? The good offer is just so crucial. In fact, when we're working with clients, that's one of the biggest things I see is the lack of a really good offer, that no-brainer offer you mentioned. I mean, you can send all the traffic in the world to a crappy offer and you're not going to get anything from it. So yeah, to spend the time to work on your craft of sort of perfecting the messaging there. Yeah, that's gold. It's huge. It's huge. Awesome. All right, my friend. So what are you up to today? What's the future hold for you? Oh, man. The future is beautiful, right? Yeah, it is. Like, it is. Foreseeing the future. And it's so cool, man. I got to say, like, the cool thing is like where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going is amazing. Yeah. And with that, that's why I've kind of started turning towards this stuff, like being on with you today. Yeah. I could be in the other office and working on something amazing. There's a time when I was young, when I was like 15 or 16, and I wanted to become somebody. I wanted to, become successful. Mm-hmm. And then at that time, there was no podcast, no Facebook groups, no Facebook pages. Actually, Facebook didn't even exist. Yeah. It was really hard to find mentors. It was really hard to find people. And I remember praying, man. I remember just looking up. I said, hey, I need a mentor. I need someone that I can tuck under their wing and they can lead me. And I'll be forever grateful for that. Secondly, is if I ever become successful, I want to be that mentor. Like, I want to be able to give that wing. And with that came a really beautiful thing, which was what we have today. Right. And being able to do podcasting, right? Which is really cool. So here's the deal is you need to press the play button on the top. There you go. Sorry. All good. We can edit. We can fix. We got a magical engineer. That's good. Sorry, I had a question. All good. So where are we at? Where are we going? Yeah, let me get back to the track. So we have the wings. Yeah. So the wing is, and so here's the deal: is by being able to be on a podcast with you today, dude, we're going to change at least one person's life today. Right. This podcast is going to do wonders for someone. I'm looking forward to that person 3 years, 5 years from now, man, seeing you at an event, seeing you up on stage, and just tugging on your shoulder and saying, there was a podcast that you had with whoever that changed my life. And maybe it's this podcast where, you know what, that podcast made me kick my butt and say, you know what, I need to get in gear and make this thing really go and have a lot of fun. And that's why I do it, because I want to help out. I want to be that wing. I want to, contribute to whatever it is and take our learning experiences and, let that evolve and let other people learn from our big money mistakes, like where we spent a lot of money to find out the things that we found out.
Yeah.
And now you're a voice, right? You're being noisy in a noisy world. Like you're creating that stamp, and it's so cool to be able to have that with you and be a part of that. So I think it's cool that people look up to you, man. I think it's cool that what you're doing. I think it's amazing that you have the audience that you do, and obviously you read a lot because you got a whole bookshelf rocking back there.
It's all for show. It's all for show.
It's cool though, right?
Yeah, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
It's so fun, and it's so cool just to, it might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen in a week. But, dude, I guarantee there'll be somebody that comes up to you and said, you know what? I'm glad you did that podcast because you changed my life.
Yeah.
And that's such a very easy thing to say. But when you pull back the onion peels of that, dude, you have no clue what they were going through. You don't know if they were claiming bankruptcy before that, or had a foreclosure notice on their front door, or had a wife that was nagging at them saying what they were doing was stupid, and that it wasn't worth the time to go out and educate themselves on being their own business, or saying, Mom, I don't want to go to college. I want to be an entrepreneur. That's the crazy stuff that's going on in our world, and your podcast is changing lives, my friend.
You're too kind. I appreciate it. I really do. No, it's amazing. I mean, we've been very fortunate, right, with those who have helped us with the information they've given us, and I've paid a lot of dues by making some good financial decisions, some really bad ones as we sort of invest in our marketing and in our businesses. And so, it's truly an honor to kind of get to chat with you and to get to share this information and hopefully impact the lives of even just one person to sort of make it a little better and make this year a little better for them.
So cool, right?
Cool,
so
brother.
powerful.
So powerful. So good. So tell me, great note to end on. Where can people reach you? Where can they find out a little bit more about you and what you're up to?
So we give out, same thing, right? So it's all about contributing. It's all about giving back. And so we actually have a lot of free content that we just give out. We have Unstoppable Cores. We have the Commerce Kings podcast. The biggest thing is just, the biggest thing is follow you, man. See, watch what you're doing.
There you go.
That's the cool thing. Trey Lewellen. Just Google Trey Lewellen and you'll find us. I mean, that's awesome. It's easy as that.
Okay, well, we'll make sure to link that up in the show notes for everybody listening here today, so they'll be able to find you. And Trey, man, it was an absolute blast. Thanks so much for being here and for chatting with me. Had a riot.
Dude, it was so cool. Thanks for having me. And it looks like we're still excited that we were excited earlier.
We are still excited. It was not wasted excitement, so all ends well.
All right, man. We'll see ya.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you soon.